Leo Cho, he's asking us about second generation Overseas. This is the one that just got replaced, the 4740. He's asking, would you favor that, Raph, or would you suggest saving for an Aquanaut or a Royal Oak? Let's say the equivalent Aquanaut, you know, it's going to be your 5167, and the Royal Oak is going to be like your 15400, the 41 millimeter.
I would say last gen 300 Overseas. I think this second, is he saying he's looking into the second generation?
He's looking at the just discontinued
Gotcha.
Overseas.
Definitely. Personally, I prefer the second generation, the just discontinued again. I prefer that generation over the latest one. In comparison, or on the other hand, you have an Aquanaut and a Royal Oak. I would say they're a little different. They're trying to be, I think Vacheron is trying to be in the same class as the 5167.
Yeah. Not necessarily the Nautilus. You think that second generation Overseas is more of an Aquanaut rival than a Nautilus rival?
I think so. And I think I would go with the Vache, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. It's a bigger, more robust watch, so if that's important to you, definitely. Also, a lot of folks are saying that the ratio of bezel to dial to case is just better, proportionally, just so much better than the third generation. Having seen both in person, I can't dispute that. I feel like the second generation stylistically has it all over the third. What the third has is undoubted movement quality, fit finish, the quick release bracelet, Geneva hallmark movement, display case back. But when it's on your wrist, I'm not sure all of that outweighs the simple aesthetic punch of the second generation watch.
I think it was it stood out definitely the second generation when it was on your wrist.
And I also want to address a question that was forwarded to me by Bob Boyd, who asked, Rolex always, every question leads back to Rolex. It's like all trails lead back to Geneva. Bob Boyd asks, should I select the Omega Constellation Globemaster on a bracelet or the Explorer, the current Explorer, 2016 model, Explorer 1, we're talking the 214270 from Baselworld 2016 with fully luminescent dial. I'm going to say this is a 25th anniversary watch for him. What do you have to say about this? Big occasion, big watch for Bob.
And I think it could also be a big occasion that I would not go with the Rolex. I think there's more watch to be had in the Globemaster.
I would agree. I think, first of all, if you got your heart set on one of those watches, obviously that. Don't buy your second choice. The heart is what is ultimately going to lead you back to the dealer if you buy the wrong one the first time. And that could be expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
So I would say realistically, here's what they have in common. They're both 39 millimeters. He's interested in the Globemaster on a bracelet. So in this case, they're both on a bracelet. They're both stainless steel per his specification.
Yep.
They're both water resistant to 100 meters. They're both automatic, and they're both Swiss. After that,
they split, and they very much go in different ways. I mean, you have the Omega caliber, the coaxial caliber in the Globemaster. I mean, I gotta say, there's more watch in the Globemaster. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I do. I feel the Globemaster, first of all, wins on content. Let's just be clear.
Way more content.
Almost scratch-proof tungsten bezel, beautifully fluted. It's got date window, the Explorer doesn't. I like a date window, that's useful to me. Longer power reserve, 48 for the caliber 3132 in the Explorer versus about 60 for the 8900 in the Omega. There's the Matas certification, which is cool to me. There's the coaxial caliber, which is cool to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. And
it's all about what's cool now.
It's also more resistant to magnetic fields, which, you know, obviously in the 1950s, the only people who might have needed a Milgauss were people working around high-powered equipment in CERN, things like that. Today, I'm looking at the, forest of wires that Pheline is drowning in over there. Magnetic flux is everywhere. So the amagnetic qualities of the SI14 hairspring and the Omega, they actually mean something to me in this day and age. So here's the other thing. Here's the only argument for going with the Rolex over the Omega, and here's why I think the Omega counterpunches. Okay, the Rolex Explorer. Since 1953, there were Explorer-dialed Rolexes before that, and there were Rolexes with the word Explorer prior. But let's just go back to 1953 and make this easy. Tenzing Norgay and Sir Edmund Hillary. The Explorer look is iconic. The Explorer look is time-tested. It will still be cool in 50 years. And normally, I would say that's where the Rolex might score a knockout punch over all the other merits I mentioned for the Globemaster. If it weren't for the fact that the Globemaster is A, technically part of the Constellation line,
Yep.
and B, effectively the resurrection of the pie pan we've been waiting for since that 1982 Manhattan-style Constellation with the griffe. I don't like those. So I feel like as this is channeling the all-time greatest constellation, and it's not slavishly literal, but it captures the best features of the dial, of the case, of the proportions. The Globemaster is a new watch that already has a time-tested look.
Yeah, it does what it's intended to be, and it does it very well. I think definitely final call from us, Globemaster.
Globemaster, yeah. Again, unless you have your heart set on the Explorer, on merit, and even enduring style, I think the Globemaster has a strong argument to be made. Plus, many different dial options between silver, between blue.
Incredible blue.
Yeah, spectacular metallic blue. You're gonna get your chance to call the exact look of the watch and tailor it a bit more than you would with the Explorer, which is kind of any color you like as long as it's black.
Essentially, yeah.